Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. There are a couple of things I want to talk about in this video. First, starting with some updates surrounding Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey's breakup. Several days ago, it was announced that Michael and Lori broke up because Michael was looking for something more serious and Lori simply wasn't ready to commit to Michael. Now, this is the story that's being put out there. There's also some speculation that maybe their relationship was contractual. They used their relationship for PR, and when it ran its course, they went their separate ways. So that's a possibility as well. But a little bit more tea is slowly coming out about their breakup. Now, the actress Lisa Ray hinted on Cocktails with Queens that Michael B. Jordan allegedly was still in love with his ex-girlfriend, and it's possible that Michael may have left Lori because he was missing his ex.
I think that's bullshit. They said that she wasn't ready because when a woman finds a good one, then that's what you're looking for. But I think at the same time, she's young. I think the established relationship that Michael did have before this one, I think that maybe that social media, that all of that was a lot for him. And I think that he, I heard about his ex and him was so serious that he may have missed her. But we'll see.
Okay, so Leo, that sounds like you got some teeth there, Lisa, right?
But I think maybe, once he had been with an older woman and, which is his ex, I feel like that chemistry could make you go, man, I remember this and I got to teach this. And I don't know, maybe that's a little personal in there for me.
Now, Lisa didn't go into much detail, but that little bit of tea she spilled was very interesting because she brought up the fact that Michael was in a very serious relationship with an older woman before getting with Lori. So if this is true, it's very possible that Michael may have missed what he had with his ex. And that's not to say that he didn't like Lori at all. I think he did like Lori, but he realized that she wasn't really serious about being in a long-term relationship. He's at an age where he wants to settle down, and he was probably thinking about the relationship he had with his ex, and he probably misses that. He probably misses a serious, low-key relationship, and it's very possible that he might have gone back to his ex. Who knows? But I kind of feel like Michael was the one who ended things, and I don't think Lori saw it coming. I noticed that Lori deleted Michael off of her social media page, and also her mother, Marjorie, reposted this video on her IG story, and a lot of people feel like this was a shot at Michael.
Sit in shit too long, it stops smelling. So come the fuck out of there.
Also, Steve Harvey posted this quote on Twitter saying, "Sometimes we need to thank God for what didn't happen." Now, Steve does post quotes on his platform a lot, but I thought the timing of this quote was interesting, and it probably applies to Lori's situation. Who knows? But from my guess, it seems like Michael was the one who broke things off, and I think it's because he wants to be in a serious relationship. And I could be wrong, but it's possible that he might have found somebody else. Now, does this mean Lori is going to be down and out about this? Absolutely not. Lori knows how to move on very quickly. It doesn't matter if she leaves the situation or if someone leaves her, she's gonna move on. In fact, it was rumored that she probably moved on already. And I want to talk a little bit about this, but before I do, let me pause and thank Scentbird for sponsoring this video. So, I have a question for you. What are your favorite fragrance notes? Well, I personally love the scents that are warm and sweet. With Scentbird, I'll never have a problem with getting the perfect fragrance. Scentbird is reimagining everything about how people discover, shop for, purchase, and even experience fragrances. With Scentbird, you can build up your very own fragrance collection. Scentbird allows you to choose new designer fragrances each month for just $17. Every month you get to pick out what you want to receive, so there are no surprises. With each fragrance, you'll get a 30-day supply so you could try out fragrances before committing to a full-size bottle. You can discover new fragrances by taking a simple quiz, and based off of your preferences, answers, and previous purchases, they'll help you find the fragrance that you'll love. Scentbird carries Prada, Gucci, Versace, and niche brands like Skylar, Heretic, and Confessions of a Rebel. This month, I received 3 sample perfumes. I received a fragrance from Commodity called Milk, which has a musky and sweet creamy scent. I also received a scent from Skylar called Honeysuckle Dream, and it has a floral, citrus-like scent. Very nice and very summery. And last but certainly not least, I received my favorite scent out of the bunch, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue. I love this scent because it's very warm and it has a tropical sweetness. If you want your own collection of fragrances, make sure to use my coupon code Empressive for 55% off at scentbird.com. It's just a little over $7 for your first month, and it's available in the US and Canada. Please check out the links below, and once again, thank you Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Now, it was rumored that Lori may have had somebody on the side. Gossip of the City actually put this rumor out last month, and they said, saw Lori Harvey's real man, not the one she dates for business. I want to post, but y'all going to tell on me. So this, of course, actually adds more fuel to the rumors that Michael and Lori's relationship was for publicity only, and behind the scenes they were dating the people that they truly were into. I don't know if that's factual, but it's just a thought. But I wouldn't be surprised if both Michael and Lori were in new relationships by the end of the summer. More than likely, Michael might settle down with his next girl, and Lori might continue to date around because she still is young and she's having fun. So both of them will be all right. I don't think either one of them are losing sleep over this breakup. Anyway, moving on. The actress Amanda Seales was not pleased that she was snubbed from The Real's farewell episode. If you don't know, Amanda was a co-host on the show briefly during season 6, I believe, and she was a co-host during a very critical time. She was hosting during the beginning of the pandemic, and some of the viewers may not have liked the serious tone that she brought to the show, but she actually elevated a lot of conversations on the show. And she inspired her other co-hosts to be more vocal about social and racial injustice. She also gave some input in the show, and they used some of her ideas for a few segments. So she did contribute something in the short period she was on the show, which is why it was a little odd that she wasn't added in the farewell episode.
So apparently The Real, in their finale episode, did promo. I am not featured in this thumbnail, and I am not featured in the farewell episode, apparently. I'll have some things to say about that.
Now, two of the co-hosts on the show, Jeannie, and Adrienne, saw that Amanda was snubbed, and they weren't pleased with that at all.
Jeannie and Adrienne hit me up, and were like, that's bullshit. We did not realize that was, happening, and we were going to do a live, an Instagram live, but then our schedules didn't line up, and it was just like, it's fine. But they I talk to Jeannie and Adrienne all the time.
Okay.
Now, I think the real reason why Amanda was snubbed from the farewell episode is because she called out The Real several times. She called out the show for copying one of her logos, which was her intellectual property. Also, she revealed that she had an issue with one of the producers on the show. And this is one of the reasons why she left.
But we were playing a Smart, Funny, and Black show on a game on The Real, and they assigned it to the one white woman producer. But we have 3 black women producers and 1 black guy producer. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, why are you producing this? Do you even know what we're going to be talking about? And she said, no, I just figured you were going to talk about it and I would just write it down. And I said, so am I going to get a producer credit? To me, you assign the different segments to people who are going to be able to produce it to the best ability. And it's like, if we were doing a segment on like a Sabbath dinner, she was the one Jewish person on the production staff. She should be in charge of that segment because she has the most expertise on that.
Period.
And I just was like, and so basically she went crying to somebody and said that I attacked her, even though I spoke to her.
So when Amanda called out one of the producers on the show, I do believe this caused the show to snub her from the farewell episode. And she talked about the snub in more detail on The Breakfast Club.
I think some people think because it's TV or whatever, that it's like, how dare you want better for anything. Like, you get to be on TV, you get to be glamorous, you get to get money. By the way, I wasn't really getting that money on there. Me holding an employer accountable for behaviors and for practices that are deleterious to the positive work environment of people there is not shitting on the show. You know, I never talked about my co-hosts. I never made it about the actual talent on the show. I made it about the leadership. That, along with a myriad of other things in terms of like a toxic work environment and just business practices and professional practices that didn't even just affect me. They affected my makeup team. They affected my glam team. You know, like, they affected my assistant. Like, they affected the other hosts. Like, it was not just a singular issue. I just hate that folks really don't understand the difference between shitting on something and calling for change.
If somebody speaks out about it and talks about leadership.
Which is how they ended up with the Black EP. That's how they ended up with a Black executive producer, because I came out and was vocal, which inspired some of the people who were still remaining on the cast to challenge and say that needs to be in place in order for us to continue to be here. You know, I thought I was being brought in there to elevate conversations, but I was really brought in there, you know, to kind of like be a villain. They brought me in there to like shake the table. Shout out to K. Michelle. And I guess if I knew that was the assignment, I would have decided differently if I wanted to sign up for that, but that's not what I thought I was signing up for.
So that was Amanda speaking about her issues with The Real. The Real is now canceled, so it shouldn't matter at this point, but it's really more so about the principle. I don't think Amanda should have been left off from the farewell episode. I understand that she left off on a bad note, kind of similar to how Tamar left off on a bad note. When Tamar was fired, she did call out the show as well, but the show still managed to include Tamar in the last farewell episode. Amanda might have been on the show for a short period of time, but I feel like she did make somewhat of a difference. And I think every lady on the show should be acknowledged. All of them were great and the show was great. I'm gonna miss it a lot, but I do wish all of the co-hosts all the best moving forward. I kind of think The Real should be a podcast. I mean, podcasts are doing very well these days. So I think if they were smart, they would actually transition from TV to podcasting, because they could get a huge deal from Spotify or Apple or anywhere else and keep the show going. And they don't have to put on a big production either, but that's besides the point. That's another topic for another video. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.